have made it through another long day, and now the world has softened around you. Screens, dim rooms quiet down, and somewhere in the background, a small glow of curiosity is still awake inside you. You are here looking for a calm place to rest your thoughts, a gentle sleep story for adults that feels like a hand on your shoulder, steady and kind. This is a bedtime science story made of earth and stone and forests and rivers, a piece of relaxing science shaped so softly that you can fall asleep to science without effort, just by listening and letting the night hold you. If this first quiet moment already feels comforting, you are welcome to gently tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, as if placing a tiny lantern on a windowsill and then forgetting about it while you rest. Tonight, we walk together into a sleepy science narration that does not push or demand, but drifts like mist along the side of a hill. Think of this as a cinematic sleep story, where the camera moves slowly over the surface of the planet, and you do not have to remember anything. You simply float through dreamy science, through small, soft facts about the Earth that do not press on your mind. Many adults arrive here with a head full of unfinished thoughts, planning and replaying and worrying until the early hours. This is for those minds that think too much at night and just want something quiet, kind, and simple to lean on while they learn while falling asleep. Imagine that you are standing at the edge of a wide valley just after sunset. The air is still warm from the day, but the light has turned gentle, poured through a thin layer of cloud that scatters it into soft gold. Hills roll out in front of you like slow waves of land covered with grass and lines of trees that look almost blue at this distance. The first stars are waking above you, but the earth itself feels like the main character tonight. This is not a wild, dramatic planet. In this moment, it is calm breathing, ancient and patient, offering a kind of nature for sleep that makes your shoulders loosen without you even noticing, beneath the soles of your feet, even if you are only imagining them touching the ground. Layers of stone rest in silence. Some of these layers have been here for hundreds of millions of years, lying one upon another, like pages in a book, written so slowly that no one ever saw the ink move. A tiny fragment of rock at the surface might once have been part of a mountain range taller than anything alive today. Over ages, that mountain softened, wore down grain by grain, not in violence, but in a deep, patient quiet. The earth takes its time, When you listen to these gentle facts, you are stepping into a soft dream universe where time itself is in no hurry, and you are allowed to stop rushing too. Above the valley, thin clouds stretch across the sky like white brush strokes. They were born from water that rose drop by invisible drop from rivers, lakes, and oceans. The same water that once washed over ancient shorelines now floats in the sky, and one day it will fall again, sink into soil, move under roots, and reappear in a different place. The planet is full of these quiet cycles going on, whether anyone watches or not. This is deep, relaxing science that feels less like a lecture and more like a soft explanation from an old friend who wants you to rest. Far away mountains hold their outline against the dimming light. They look solid and unmoving, and for you tonight, they will stay that way. You do not need to think about rivers cutting through them or plates moving under them. You only need to know that they stand watch like silent guardians. Many of the minerals inside those mountains formed in darkness deep below the surface in places no person has ever seen. Crystal lattices grew there atom by atom, slowly building patterns that catch the light now millions of years later on a mountainside at dawn. The earth has been quietly making beauty in the dark for longer than we can imagine, the way your mind quietly tends memories and feelings while you rest. If a peaceful image rises in you, now maybe of a hillside you once walked, or a path through trees after rain, you may let it rest in the comments if your eyes still feel awake enough to move. Some listeners leave a single soft word there for the next traveler who wanders in late at night, so they know they are not the only one drifting through this calm. As the scene slowly shifts, the viewpoint glides down into the valley. Evening insects move through the tall grass, unseen but present. Each blade bends under a small weight and then returns to its place, patient and flexible. In the soil beneath, countless tiny organisms are gently breaking down fallen leaves, old roots, and fragments of life that have returned to the ground. You do not see them, but their slow work feeds the forest, the fields, the flowers that might bloom here next spring. The earth is always turning endings into beginnings quietly, without announcement. Knowing this, even in a soft and simple way, lets your own day feel like something that can settle and be remade too. The scent of soil after rain, that deep, comforting smell, comes from compounds released by tiny living things in the ground. When the air is just right, those invisible molecules rise and carry a message to your senses. The earth has drunk. The land is refreshed. You are safe here. Even if you only imagine that smell, now your body remembers it. Your breathing might slow a little, matching the rhythm of air moving through an open field at night. In the distance, a small river curves through the valley like a silver thread. It does not rush. It takes the easiest path, turning whenever the ground invites it to turn. Over many years, the river will carve a softer and softer line into the land, a gentle mark of its steady presence. The water that passes this bend tonight will never return in exactly the same way, yet the river will still be here, looking almost unchanged. There is comfort in that, the feeling that something can be always in motion and always familiar at the same time. This whole journey is a science sleep story that lets you rest inside movement without needing to follow every step. Somewhere along the bank, stones are resting in the shallows. Each one has been shaped by time, by the patient touch of water. Sharp edges have been rounded, rough surfaces smoothed all without force. The river did not argue with the stone. It simply flowed around it again and again until both found a shape that fit. You too are allowed to be shaped gently over years by small moments of calm, by nights like this, by soft words that find you when you most need them. This is what it means to fall asleep to science that cares more about your breathing than about your memory. The sky grows darker now, but the darkness is not empty. It is a soft blanket over the valley. Stars appear one by one, and the line between earth and sky becomes a quiet conversation of silhouettes and points of light. The whole scene feels like a cosmic lullaby, but instead of distant galaxies and wild explosions, it is held close, grounded in soil, moss, roots, and stone. You are inside a world that has carried life for billions of years, and tonight it carries you too. If a part of this gentle earth journey has eased the weight of your thoughts, you may leave just one warm word below something you want the night or the earth itself to hold for you. It could be calm or home or anything that feels like a small stone you place beside the path before moving on. And if this quiet beginning has made your mind feel a little lighter, you may subscribe softly, only if it feels natural, so more calm stories can find you on other nights when you need them. The river in the valley has been waiting patiently for our attention, like a soft line drawn by a quiet hand across the land. As evening deepens, the camera of your mind glides down from the hills and comes to rest just above the water, where the surface reflects the last pale colors of the sky. It looks almost still at first, but as your eyes soften, you can see a slow, steady movement, a gentle sliding of light and shadow that hints at a journey much longer than this moment. Every river you have ever seen carries a memory of the sky. The drops that move past this bend tonight began as invisible moisture hanging in the air, carried on high winds over mountains and plains. At some point, the air cooled just enough. The tiny droplets gathered, and clouds grew heavy with the quiet promise of rain. That rain fell onto leaves, stones, roofs, and soil, each drop making its own tiny decision about where to go. Some soaked directly into the ground, some slid along blades of grass, some collected into small runnels that joined others until they became trickles, then streams, then something large enough for us to call a river. When you listen to this sleepy science narration, you are really listening to the long, slow conversation between the sky and the earth. Along the riverbank, the soil is darker and softer than on the hills. It has been fed for centuries by fine particles carried in the water, settling gently whenever the current slows after a rain. These small deposits become rich ground where grasses, reeds, and trees grow taller and greener. In this way, a river is not only a path for water, it is a quiet painter, laying down layers of fertile earth in long, sweeping strokes that you can walk across without ever noticing the brush in its hand. This is relaxing science in its most tender form, patient, almost invisible, yet shaping the land in ways that feed both animals and people year after year. Look closer at the shape of the river as it winds through the valley. It rarely moves in a straight line. Instead, it curves and leans, forming great, gentle loops called meanders. On the inside of each bend, where the water moves more slowly, sand and small stones settle on the shore. On the outside of the bend, the current moves a little faster, smoothing and reshaping the bank. The river is always adjusting, always seeking the path that requires the least effort. Over many years, these bends can become more pronounced, then drift, then sometimes cut off completely to leave quiet, crescent-shaped lakes behind. Normally, we see this as just part of the scenery. Tonight, as you fall asleep to science that is kind to your mind, you can feel how natural it is to let yourself bend to take an easier path when one appears. The surface is where light dances, But much of the river's secret life happens below. Between the grains of sand and small pebbles on the riverbed, water seeps into tiny spaces carrying dissolved minerals, traces of leaves, and microscopic life. Roots of plants along the shore reach down toward this hidden flow, drawing up what they need without disturbing the surface at all. There are stretches of land where water travels underground for long distances, moving quietly through porous rock, only to rise again in springs that look like small miracles. Clear pools emerging from cliff faces or forest floors, as if the earth itself decided to breathe out. The water beneath our feet, the water in rivers, the water in clouds above is really one connected body. It is always cycling, always moving, but always present. That same water has been part of oceans, part of glaciers, part of deep lakes and thin morning mist. It has fallen as snow on distant peaks and as gentle drizzle in city streets. In a lifetime, a person crosses paths with many forms of this same ancient traveler, often without realizing it. There is something deeply calming about this, a sense that the world is quietly consistent, even when our days feel scattered. This whole journey becomes a soft dream universe, where you can learn while falling asleep, without pressure, just by letting these images glide past like reflections on the current. As night settles more fully on the valley, the river begins to hold the stars. Little by little, the bright points above appear as shimmering streaks in the water below. When a breeze passes, the reflections tremble and stretch as if the sky were being gently stirred with an invisible hand. You might imagine that the river is carrying pieces of the night with it, guiding these starry patterns around each curve, past quiet rocks and sleeping roots. This is a cinematic sleep story where earth and sky share the same frame, and you are safe inside it, watching from a place that asks nothing of you. Somewhere upstream, far beyond our view, the river begins as narrow threads. Meltwater from snowfields trickles down through rocky gullies. Rain collects on high plateaus, joining into narrow courses that tumble over stones and gather strength. Each small start is humble, almost hidden. It is only when they join that we notice and give them a name. In the same way, the thoughts of your day, small worries, brief joys, unfinished tasks, have been flowing together in your mind. Here, beside this imagined water, they are allowed to spread out, to slow to lose their sharpness, and sink like silt onto a quiet riverbed. If a peaceful thought drifts through you now, Maybe a memory of a river from your childhood, or a simple feeling like cool or clear. You may let it rest in the comments softly, like placing a pebble in water. Only if your mind feels awake enough to move your fingers. Some people leave these small words behind as markers, so others wandering through this dreamy science later at night can feel less alone. Downstream, the valley opens wider, and the river begins to braid into several channels, like fingers spreading to touch more of the land. Between them, small islands of sediment rise, covered with grasses and young trees that sway lightly with the breeze. Birds rest here, using the river as a safe pathway through the landscape. The water, constant in its gentle motion, brings them food, rest, and direction without a single signpost. For them, this is not a science sleep story or a bedtime science story. It is simply life. For you, listening in the quiet, it becomes a reminder that guidance can be soft, and that not every answer needs to arrive as a sudden, loud realization. Some understandings form slowly, like a sandbar, building itself out of countless tiny grains. As the river journeys onward, it will one day meet the sea. There, in a wide and shallow embrace, its fresh waters will mingle with salt, forming estuaries, where tides rise and fall, and where many young creatures find shelter in their first days. The nutrients, carried from distant mountains, will spread out in invisible plumes, feeding unseen forests of plankton and grasses on the seafloor. Even at this meeting, where two vast systems touch, there is no drama, no noise, just a continuing of motion, a gentle exchanging of gifts between land and ocean. This is deep, relaxing science, the kind that lets you exhale slowly while you picture it, feeling your own edges soften like the shoreline in the evening light. The valley that cradles our river is almost black now, but not a frightening black. It is the kind that appears when your eyes close gently, full of hints and shapes and fading colors. You might imagine that somewhere faintly you can still hear the low whisper of water over stones. That sound has been there for a long time before you, and it will remain long after, steady and kind, like a friend who never raises their voice. The earth is full of such friends, rivers, hills, groves of trees, quiet fields under thin layers of frost. They are all part of this nature for sleep that your mind can return to on any night. If drifting along this river has made your thoughts a little quieter, you may leave a gentle word below something you would like the night to hold for you. or perhaps a short note about where your mind traveled while we followed the water together. And if this soft journey through Earth's calm has helped ease the edges of your day, you may subscribe in the gentlest way, only if it feels like one more small stone placed along a path you might walk again. High above the valley, where the river winds in silver mountains, rise with a kind of quiet certainty that feels older than memory itself. Their silhouettes emerge slowly, as if carved from the dusk, and the closer you drift toward them, the more their stillness becomes a presence, calm, patient, and deeply grounding. This is where the land feels ancient enough to whisper and soft enough to listen without asking anything of you. It is a place where sleepy science narration folds into the calm of stone and sky, offering you relaxing science so gentle that you can learn while falling asleep without a single effort. The first breath of the night air near the mountains is cool, almost like stepping into the shadow of a peaceful giant. You feel no danger here, only the slow exhale of the earth settling after a long day. If this first touch of stone and evening light settles your mind, you are welcome to quietly tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, as softly as laying your hand on warm rock and then letting it rest there without expectation. As you approach the foothills, the world becomes textured in a different way, less fluid than the river valley, more grounded. Moss clings to the sides of boulders in thick carpets, soft enough to imagine lying down on, though you don't have to. The moss has been here for decades, maybe centuries, drinking dew and holding moisture close to the stone. If you look very closely, you might imagine tiny droplets lingering between green filaments, ready to shimmer at the first hint of daylight. All around you, the earth rises upward in slow, sweeping folds. These mountains were not born quickly. They gathered themselves through movements so gradual that no living thing could have witnessed the moment of their rise. Even now, they continue to move, soft, imperceptible, almost like continental breathing. Across the span of hundreds of thousands of years, peaks lift by the width of a fingernail. Valleys deepen by the height of a grain of sand. Nothing breaks the calm. Nothing demands attention. This is cinematic sleep story, pacing in geological form, slow, steady, gentle. As you drift further into this place, the ground beneath your feet becomes a quiet mosaic of small stones, soil, and fallen needles from towering pines. Every footstep, imagined or real, presses softly into earth that has been touched by countless seasons. Pine roots weave deep into the mountain soil, anchoring each tree against time rather than against force. Their shape follows paths of moisture in the ground, branching toward underground flows of water you cannot see. In this way, the forest listens to the mountain, responds to it, and grows around its slow heartbeat. The air holds a scent that is almost a memory itself. Wood, stone, cold, earth, and something faintly sweet from the last wild flowers of summer. When the wind shifts, it carries hints of resin and distant water. This kind of scent settles the nervous mind without effort, reminding your breath to slow, reminding your body that it is held. Many people find comfort in these forest fragrances without knowing why. It's simply that the earth has learned your rhythms long before you learned theirs. On a slope ahead, a massive boulder rests half buried in the soil. Perhaps it once broke from a cliff high above, or perhaps it has been here since the last great sheet of ice drifted across the land ages ago. Smooth patches on its surface suggest centuries of rain and gentle abrasion. Lichens paint it in muted blues and greens, tiny living artworks that spread by barely measurable amounts each year. You may sit beside this stone in your imagination and feel its warmth. Yes, warmth even in the cool of the night. Rock holds heat long after the sun has left. The earth is always storing gifts like this, quiet comforts awaiting the moment you slow down enough to feel them. If a peaceful image rooted itself in you just now, a memory of mountains from your travels, or even a single quiet color, you may place it in the comments like a pebble for the next traveler. Only if your mind feels awake enough to move. Many listeners leave faint traces like this, so others wandering through this dreamy science at night know they are not alone. As you glide deeper into this mountainous dream space, the trees begin to thin, and patches of low shrubs and grasses give way to open rock faces. Here the wind moves more freely, curling around cliffs and carrying small grains of dust aloft before letting them fall again in patterns you don't see, but that the mountain remembers. Each shift of wind is a conversation with the land, a soft reshaping. Over time, these tiny gestures carve smooth hollows, shallow grooves, pockets where water gathers after rain. Stone responds slowly, but it responds from up here. Looking back over the valley, the river appears like a thin ribbon catching bits of starlight. The view widens, and the horizon stretches farther than before. This sense of expanded space of the world gently opening is a natural part of the soft dream universe. The mind often feels more spacious when the land beneath it opens wide. This is why mountains have a way of making breathing easier, even when the air grows thin. The earth offers altitude along with quiet perspective. Halfway up the slope, an outcrop of granite glitters under the moonlight. The sparkling flecks inside it, tiny crystals of quartz and feldspar formed under intense heat, millions of years before rising to meet the open air. Now exposed, they reflect even the softest glow. If you run your hand across the surface in your imagination, the stone feels cool and deeply peaceful, like touching the spine of an ancient book written in a language of time. These are the gentle facts of geology given to you here, without weight, without pressure, simply as soft wonder. There are places where the stone shapes itself into natural steps, arranged as if inviting you higher. But you do not need to climb. You can simply drift along this steady path held by the slow confidence of the mountain. The summit is not the goal. What matters is the feeling of groundedness that grows inside you with each imagined breath, each shift of light. Somewhere nearby, a thin spring emerges from between slabs of rock. The water is impossibly clear, cold enough to taste even in thought. It has traveled through the mountain for years, slipping between mineral veins, learning the structure of the land by touch. Springs like this are the mountain's quiet exhale, a way for inner waters to rise and meet the world. When you picture this spring, you might feel something unclench inside you too, the way tension softens when given a place to go. If a moment in this mountainside touched you, or if your breathing slowed while drifting across its slopes, you may share a single warm word below, just something simple that rests with you. And if this Wyatt journey eased your thoughts, you may subscribe softly so that more nights like this can find you without effort. The forest rises gently as you descend from the mountains, as if the land itself were preparing a softer place for your thoughts to rest. Tall trunks emerge from the darkness like quiet pillars, each one holding a piece of the sky above you. The air grows warmer at lower elevations, settling with a deep, earthy sweetness. Leaf, bark, moss, and the faint memory of sunlight that lingers even long after dusk. This is where the earth breathes in long, slow rhythms, and where you are invited to breathe with it without trying. If this first step into the forest feels calming, you may softly tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural. The way someone might lightly touch a tree's warm bark while passing just a simple gesture. Then rest again. The path under your feet is soft, padded, with layers of fallen leaves and needles. Each layer comes from seasons that arrived, lived their quiet days, and let go when their time was done. Forest floors are made almost entirely of letting go, yet nothing here feels empty. In the dim light, you can see the faint outlines of ferns curling inward, holding the coolness of the night close to their tender fronds. The air feels different here, not just cooler, but fuller, as if it carries the presence of countless lives breathing in harmony. When people talk about forests, they often mention silence. But a forest at night is not silent. It is softly alive. Leaves murmur against each other when the wind passes. Branches shift with tiny crackles as nocturnal animals move through them. Somewhere distant, a single drop of water falls from a leaf tip, landing on the soil below, with a sound you barely hear, but somehow feel. In this sleepy science narration, these tiny sounds become part of your calm, each one a gentle reminder that the earth continues its quiet life without ever rushing you. One of the most comforting truths about forests is that trees breathe. They breathe all day and they breathe all night, exchanging gases with the air in rhythms older than human memory. In the daylight, leaves work slowly, turning sunlight into nourishment. At night, the forest shifts into a deep, resting state, but it does not stop breathing entirely. You can imagine the air around you expanding and contracting like the soft rise and fall of a giant chest. Even imagining this can slow your own breathing, making the world seem wider and safer. Look up. Through the tall shapes of trunks and branches, stars peek between the canopy. They shimmer in small fragments like glimpses of distant lanterns shining through cracks in an ancient roof. Some parts of the canopy are thick enough to hide the sky entirely. Others open in warm windows where starlight pours onto the forest floor. Each opening has its own feeling, its own quiet personality, some inviting, some mysterious, all gentle. This is where dreamy science merges with memory, forming a bridge between the earth below and the sky above. Beneath the surface of the soil, roots stretch in every direction, crossing, touching, weaving. trees speak to one another through these underground networks. They share nutrients, warnings, and comfort in ways we still barely understand, all at speeds far slower than anything we experience. This communication is not urgent. It is patient, steady, and kind. Just knowing this can soothe you. The forest is not a collection of separate beings. It is a single, breathing community held together by quiet cooperation. You are allowed to feel held by it too, if a quiet moment rooted itself in you. Maybe a memory of walking in woods long ago, or the feeling of cool leaves brushing against your arm. You may share one soft word below, like placing a fallen leaf gently onto a still pond. A few steps deeper into the forest, the ground begins to glow faintly, where tiny mushrooms lift out of the soil. Some species emit a soft light bioluminescence so gentle it looks like dew carrying its own moonlight. These small points of glow were once part of wood and leaf and bark, slowly transformed by the forest's unseen caretakers. Their light is not bright. It does not demand attention. Instead, it simply exists, waiting for eyes calm enough to notice. Light like this can make the night feel kinder, as if even in darkness there are soft guides. In many forests, moss grows thick on fallen logs, arching over them in rich green blankets. Lay your imagination against one, and it gives like a cushion full of tiny water droplets cradled within its fibers. Moss drinks from fog rain, and even the faint moisture of the air storing it in silence. When squeezed by the weight of an animal or branch, moss releases a subtle scent, earthy, damp, grounding. You may have smelled it before on misty mornings or after walking in rain. That scent lingers in the mind, reminding you of times when the world felt simple. In the distance, you may picture a small clearing, opening like a quiet room in the woods. Here grasses shimmer with a thin layer of dew, and the ground feels like a soft blanket laid out for anyone who needs to rest. Clearings like this serve the forest as lungs, places where light can reach the soil, where new plants can rise, where animals pause between the shadows and moonlit grasses. If you stand here in your imagination, the forest surrounds you like gentle walls, not enclosing you, but sheltering you. Trees at the edge of the clearing lean slightly inward, their tops forming a loose arch overhead. You might imagine sitting near one, leaning back against its trunk. Some trunks radiate stored heat, their bark warmed by the sun earlier in the day. Others feel cool with a slow pulse of moisture traveling beneath the surface. If you listen carefully, not with ears, but with a quieter sense, you might feel the slow movement of sap, like a liquid memory, drifting just beneath the bark. Somewhere above, an owl moves between branches. Its wings make almost no sound. It rides the air as if time has slowed just for it. The owl is not searching for anything urgent tonight. It glides simply because gliding is part of its nature. Watching its movement, even if only imagined, lets part of your mind slow too. This is deep, relaxing science, wrapped in the softness of night, where nothing needs to be understood fully to bring comfort. If a detail of this forest touched you, maybe the glow of mushrooms, the quiet of moss, or the arch of branches overhead, you can place it softly in the comments for the next traveler. Only if your thoughts are still awake enough. These small traces often feel like lanterns left along a nighttime path. When you turn to continue deeper through the trees, the forest doesn't darken. It gently dims like a candle lowered rather than extinguished. The soft dream universe around you becomes quieter, but also warmer, as if you are being guided into a resting chamber designed by the earth itself. Your thoughts become lighter, settling like leaves floating down from high branches. And if this calm journey through the forest eased your thoughts, you may subscribe softly, only if it feels natural, like following a footpath you trust without needing a reason. Beneath the trees, beneath the fallen leaves, beneath the moss and the stones, a quieter world waits, so subtle that most travelers never notice it yet, so alive that the entire forest depends on it. Soil is not simply dirt. It is one of the planet's most ancient intelligences, an old, soft mind made of countless tiny lives working together in perfect calm. To step into the presence of soil is to be held by something that has been healing the earth for millions of years. You do not sink into it. You are welcomed by it gently, like an old friend who always keeps a light on for you. If this warm descent into the ground feels comforting already, you're welcome to gently tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like brushing your fingers softly across the surface of the earth and feeling it give slightly beneath your touch. The top layer of soil, the one your feet might press on, is almost feather-light from the way fallen leaves break down into delicate fragments. Each fragment still carries a memory of sunlight, wind, rain, and the season that shaped it. As it crumbles, microorganisms begin their quiet work, turning leaf into dust, dust, into nutrient, nutrient, into life again. There is no hurry here. The soil does not rush its wisdom. It simply transforms cycle after cycle, turning what once lived into the nourishment for what will live next. When you scoop a handful of soil, if only in your imagination, you are holding a small universe of tiny beings, fungi, bacteria, microscopic animals, threads of roots, particles of rock. They move so slowly, so gently, that their movements might as well be the earth breathing. And if you listen in the way you listen to a bedtime science story, you might feel that slow movement as a settling inside yourself. There is an old truth whispered among those who study forests softly. The soil remembers the past, not in words, but in layers, in temperatures, in minerals, in the slow imprint of every season that has passed overhead. Long after a tree has fallen, long after its branches have dissolved into humus, the soil still holds the faint outline of its roots. Even the smallest seedling that rises in its place will find pathways left behind, as if guided by the memory of something ancient and kind. If a thought or memory surfaced in you, something soft, something almost forgotten, you may share one gentle word below. Only if you feel awake enough. Many travelers leave quiet traces here, like seeds in fertile ground. A few inches deeper, the soil shifts into a richer, darker layer. More moisture gathers here, held in tiny pockets that reflect little bits of moonlight in your imagination. This is where many roots intertwine, where fungal threads weave themselves through the earth in patterns that look almost like constellations if seen from afar. These fungal threads carry signals between trees, allowing them to share nutrients and warnings. This underground network is slow, deliberate, and impossibly gentle. It is a system of communication built entirely on cooperation. If you picture this network now a quiet, glowing web beneath your feet, you might feel the sense of connection it brings. Nothing in a forest grows alone. Nothing has to. Soil itself is the bridge that holds every living thing together. Knowing that even quietly is enough to soothe the edges of your day. Further down, tiny mineral grains tell stories of stone broken over centuries. Quartz, dust, feldspar particles, bits of mica that sparkle even in darkness. All of them, once part of cliffs and peaks that stood tall under ancient skies. When rain fell on those mountains, when rivers carried fragments down to valleys, when glaciers pushed and released their grip, The stone surrendered small pieces of itself, offering them to the future. Now those pieces live here in this quiet layer, blending with the remains of countless plants and creatures long returned to the ground. There is no sadness in this. The earth does not mourn what changes. It welcomes each transformation, softly wrapping new layers over old ones, like a blanket placed over a resting body. And you, drifting here in this soft dream universe, are allowed to feel that same gentle acceptance, change not as loss, but as returning. Above the soil's surface, a small sound breaks the stillness, a leaf falling. Just one. It spirals slowly before landing on the ground with a whisper. That single leaf might rest there for months, held by wind, rain, frost, and sun, before finally melting into the forest floor. Its slow journey mirrors your own quiet unwinding tonight. Nothing rushed, nothing forced, just a natural softening. If something in this descent into soil touched you, you may place a single warm word below. Even a color, a feeling, a memory. Only if your fingers are still gently awake enough to move. These small traces often become part of the forest-like calm for listeners who pass here later. Imagine now a small burrow opening in the soil. Nothing threatening, just a tiny entrance made by a creature settling into its nighttime rhythms. The earth around it is cool and firm, shaped by the movements of small paws. Burrows like this have existed for millions of years, each one reshaping the soil with quiet persistence. The animals that live in them rely on the earth's warmth and its steady, grounding embrace. There is comfort in knowing that even the smallest lives find safety here, wrapped in quiet darkness that protects rather than hides. As you drift deeper, you may picture a moment of stillness, the soil holding everything in place, cradling roots, storing water, sheltering seeds that will one day rise. Soil is patient. Soil is soft intelligence. Soil is the gentle memory of Earth itself. And if this quiet journey beneath the forest eased your thoughts, you may subscribe softly, only if it feels natural, like brushing dirt from your hands after planting a seed and trusting it will grow. Stones begin to reveal themselves as you rise gently from the soil's embrace. Shapes that seem simple at first glance, yet carry ages of warmth, light, and memory within them. They rest at the base of trees, line the quiet edges of streams, sink halfway into the forest floor, or lie open to the sky on sunlit ridges. Each one carries a story far older than any forest, and yet they feel completely at home beneath your feet tonight. If the first touch of stone in this journey feels grounding, you may softly tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like brushing your palm across a sun-warmed rock and letting your hand rest there a moment longer. Imagine walking toward a clearing where the last light of day once touched every surface. Even though night has taken its place, stones still hold the memory of warmth. When the sun sinks behind the hills, it leaves behind a gift, tiny reservoirs of heat tucked into minerals and cracks. If you were to place your palm against one of these stones, even in this quiet thought, the warmth would seep slowly into your skin, soft and steady, as if the stone were sharing a comfort it saved just for you. This is one of Earth's gentlest truths. Stone remembers the sun longer than most things. The warmth you feel is not imagined. It's a physical echo of daylight held in place until the night finally cools it away. Many travelers have rested against such stones without even knowing why they felt safer. But warm stone is like an ancient heartbeat under the surface, quiet, patient, always there when the world grows dim. If a peaceful image rose through you now, maybe of a stone you once sat on during a long walk, you may let it rest in the comments softly for the next traveler wandering through this dreamy science. Some stones glimmer faintly when touched by moonlight. Not brightly, just enough for the mineral grains inside to catch and scatter the cool glow. Quartz, mica, feldspar. Each crystal responds to light differently, whispering color instead of speaking it. Look closely at a granite stone under the night sky, and you might see tiny flashes like starlight woven into the rock itself. These crystals formed deep within the earth, where temperatures were once so high that stone was soft enough to move like slow honey. When the earth cooled, the crystals locked in place, holding ancient patterns that now shine gently in the dark. This is relaxing science in its softest form. Science that feels like an invitation rather than a lesson. You don't need to remember the names of minerals. You only need to feel the quiet wonder of stone holding both heat and light long after the sky changes. Further into the clearing, a smooth boulder leans slightly to one side, half covered in moss. It appears heavy, but it rests lightly against the ground, supported by soil that has hugged its base for centuries. If you lean your thoughts against it, just a small imagined weight, the stone gives nothing away, only its steadiness. Being near something that has not moved for thousands of years can ease the parts of you that feel unstable. The mountain may teach strength, but the stone teaches presence. Just beyond the boulder, a cluster of river stones sits in a shallow depression, their surfaces polished by years of gentle water. Unlike mountain stones with sharp angles, these are smooth, cool, and perfectly shaped for resting in the palm of your hand. You might imagine lifting one, its weight steady, its surface soft from the long patience of flowing water. Stones like this have traveled farther than most creatures ever will. They began high in cliffs, broke free, tumbled down slopes, and were carried mile after mile until the river itself shaped their edges. Their smoothness is the result of countless moments of contact, soft, repetitive soothing. These stones are the Earth's version of deep, slow breathing. If a single detail here touched you, maybe the memory of holding a smooth pebble as a child, or the calm of cool stone, you can place one soft word below. Only if your mind remains gently awake. In some places, larger stones gather in rings naturally shaped by the land's subtle movements. A circle of stones is not a sign of anything dramatic. It is simply the earth tidying itself over time. Frost expands, roots lift, soil shifts, and stones adjust. These slow rearrangements create patterns that look intentional, even though they were formed by quiet repetition. Nature often organizes itself this way, not through force, but through gentle persistence. Among these stones, small plants find places to grow. Tiny ferns unfurl between cracks. Moss spreads like green velvet over rough surfaces. When rain falls, these stones collect droplets like scattered beads, each one reflecting a fragment of the world. There is something deeply calming about seeing water bead on stone, as if the earth itself were wearing jewels made from the sky. One stone in particular catches your attention, a flat, wide slab warmed earlier by sunlight. You might imagine sitting on it now, letting your weight settle, feeling the warmth radiate through you in soft pulses. The stone doesn't change beneath you. It remains steady, grounding your thoughts. But you change. Your breath deepens. The muscles in your shoulders loosen. Warmth travels slowly inward, almost like the day saying goodbye through the stone that held its last light. If some part of this warmth eased you, or made you think of a place you once rested on a hillside, at a riverbank, on a sunlit path, you may leave one gentle note below. Only a word is needed, only if it feels easy. As night deepens, the stones begin to cool. but they don't lose their calm. Instead, they shift into another kind of presence, a grounded stillness. Imagine touching them. Now their surfaces, chilled but honest. Cold stone is not unkind. It is simply quiet. It asks nothing, demands nothing, carries nothing but itself. And sometimes that is the exact reminder we need. You're allowed to just be. No pressure, no rush, just rest the way stone rests. The forest around you listens as the stones give back their warmth to the night air. A soft breeze rustles through the clearing, carrying the scent of mineral dust, pine resin, and the faintest trace of water from a nearby stream. You might not see the stream yet, but the stones do. They are always the first to feel water, coming even from deep underground. If your mind feels lighter now, and if this moment with stone brought you any kind of peace, you may subscribe softly for more nights like this. Only if it adds to your calm and not your burden. Beneath the quiet stones and the moss-soft forest floor, water continues its ancient journey, silent, unseen, and patient. Not every river lives in the open air. Some rivers wander beneath the world, traveling through secret passages carved long before any tree took root above them. These hidden waters move with a tenderness that feels almost like thought, shaping the earth, grain by grain, carrying memory through depths that never see the sky. If this first touch of underground calm feels soothing, you're welcome to gently tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like placing your hand on cool earth and feeling it hum faintly beneath your fingers. Imagine kneeling near a place where the ground dips slightly, where damp soil meets stone. If you listen, truly listen, in the quiet way evening teaches you, might sense movement underfoot, a slow, shifting murmur that rises like a faraway whisper. This is a river too young to surface, flowing not by force, but by familiarity, following pathways shaped in darkness. These underground rivers are among the earth's softest architects. They carve caverns, smooth corridors, and alcoves of shimmering minerals with nothing more than patience. Somewhere beneath you, water slides along smooth limestone, leaving behind thin films of mineral that will become stalactites over centuries. Stalactites grow so slowly, less than the width of a fingernail in a year, that their growth is almost a form of dreaming. Each drop of water that falls from the cave ceiling leaves behind a tiny part of itself, building shape from stillness. Over thousands of years, the slow pattern of dripping becomes a cathedral of stone, cool and luminous when touched by light. You don't need to remember any of this. Just knowing that beauty can form this quietly is enough to ease the mind. If a peaceful thought drifted through you, like the image of a cave glowing gently, you may let it rest softly in the comments, only if your mind feels awake enough. Deeper still, water collects in pockets where rock has curved into gentle bowls. These underground pools are so clear they look like glass until a ripple breaks the surface. The silence here is complete, not empty, but full, like the quiet you hear when closing your eyes before sleep. The walls of these caverns are lined with mineral crystals, tiny formations that scatter even the faintest glow into soft colors, pale blues, moss greens, warm golds. This is where the Earth's memory rests, locked in layers that were once oceans, deserts, ancient lake beds. When water seeps through layers of soil and stone to reach these places, it carries stories with it. Tiny grains of mountains, long eroded. Dust from forests burned centuries ago. Traces of plants that lived and died before any human walked the land. The water does not hurry. It pauses in these hidden chambers as if deciding its next path. Then, just as quietly, it continues on. Imagine walking through a narrow stone hallway, one shaped not by hands, but by time. The ceiling arches above you, smooth and low, while the ground is cool beneath your feet. A hidden river runs beside you, or perhaps directly underneath you, separated by only a thin layer of rock. You can feel its presence like a pulse, a soft, steady rhythm, as if the earth itself were breathing deeply below. If a moment here touched you, maybe the idea of an unseen current guiding the land, you may share one soft word below, like a pebble left at the mouth of a cave. In some places, water travels so slowly underground that it moves only a few inches a day. But slowness does not weaken it. It gives the water time to shape everything it meets. Tiny cracks become pathways. Pathways become channels. Channels become vast underground networks that hold the coolness of the world like a hidden heart. These rivers are the quiet reason springs rise on mountainsides, and why wells can be drawn from deep aquifers. They are the unannounced caretakers of the land, nourishing forests, streams, and fields from beneath. You may picture one such spring. Now a small pool emerging from the base of a cliff, It's water clear enough to see each stone beneath the surface. Springs like this are the places where underground and surface worlds meet, exchanging stories in silence. Birds drink here. Deer visit at dawn. Plants cluster around the edges, fed by the constant moisture. If you lean close, you can feel the cool breath of the spring rising against your skin. Sometimes, the water carries faint traces of minerals that give it a soft glow when light touches it. An almost magical shimmer, not bright enough to dazzle, only enough to make you feel as though the earth is smiling in its sleep. If the image of this quiet glow eased a corner of your mind, you may leave a gentle note below, just one word that lingers like cool water in a cupped hand. As you drift farther along this underground journey, you notice how the darkness never feels heavy. Instead, it feels warm, shaped by stone, and time lit by memories instead of torches. Underground rivers teach a kind of patience that surface water cannot. They remind you that movement does not always need to be visible to matter. That progress can be slow, nearly invisible, and still profoundly alive. Listening to these hidden waters is like listening to your own thoughts from a distance, softened, steadied, turned into quiet currents that carry you toward rest. If this underground calm brought you any sense of ease, you may subscribe softly, only if it feels gentle, so that more quiet journeys can find their way to you in the night. Above the forest canopy, beyond the ridgelines and the hush of underground rivers, the sky begins to lower itself slowly, softly, until it feels close enough to touch. Night skies in sleepy places never press down. They settle like a blanket drawn gently toward the earth. The air cools in a tender drift, and the horizon softens into shades of deep blue, violet, and silver. You can almost imagine that the sky leans in, not to overwhelm, but to listen. If the first breath of this sky feels calming, you may gently tap like or subscribe whenever it feels appropriate, like lifting your face toward a soft breeze and letting it pass through your thoughts. Clouds move differently at night. Without the sun's bright urgency, they glide like slow ships made of mist. Their undersides glow faintly with moonlight, as though carrying lanterns behind thin curtains. Some clouds stretch across the vault of heaven in long sheets, their edges blurring with the darkness. Others gather in gentle towers that rise and fall like the quiet breathing of the world. You don't need to name anything here. The sky doesn't ask you to. You can simply drift. Some nights Thin veils of moisture form above the treetops, low enough that you could imagine lifting your hand and brushing your fingertips through them. This is the sky's way of meeting the earth, halfway descending into the valleys, wrapping the hills in luminous fog, touching rivers with a soft gleam that mirrors the moon. When the sky lowers itself like this, everything feels closer, held in one slow motion. If a peaceful image surfaces, perhaps mist rolling over a field, or starlight tangled in low clouds, you may share it softly in the comments, like offering a small, quiet lantern to someone wandering here later. Look up. Stars shimmer through pockets of clear air, each one a soft pin of light suspended in a vast velvet dome. The brightest stars form familiar shapes, but tonight they feel more like gentle companions than distant suns. Some pulse with faint warmth, not because they blink, but because the moving atmosphere bends their light in soft waves. To the human eye, this shimmering is a quiet magic. To the mind at night, it is a reminder that even faraway things can feel close. When you gaze upward, the sky appears still. But in truth, it is always in motion. Earth's rotation carries you gently beneath the constellations so slowly you never feel the movement. Yet, in an hour or two, the stars will have shifted. The moon will tilt her face slightly differently, and dawn will begin to gather on the horizon like a soft whisper of gold. This is relaxing science. Told in the slowest voice, the universe has the turning of the earth, the drift of clouds, the scattering of starlight. Science, you do not have to hold, just feel. If a thought here rested lightly inside you, you may place one word below a small echo of the sky's quietness. High above the clouds, winds circle the planet in enormous ribbons. Currents so wide they could hold mountain ranges if mountains could float. These winds move warm air and cold air in long, slow dances that determine the moods of whole continents. Yet up close at ground level, what you feel is only a soft breeze brushing your cheek, carrying scents of leaves or distant rain. The sky works tirelessly, but never loudly. Sometimes the moon hangs low, larger than usual, its surface carved with ancient marks, valleys, ridges, impact basins etched over billions of years. The moon has no air to soften its memory, so every shape on its face is a story written in silence. When moonlight falls on you here in the quiet of night, it feels like the gentlest form of attention, a light that watches without judging, a presence without weight. Around the moon, thin halos sometimes form when crystals of ice drift through the upper air. These rings of pale light encircle the moon like soft crowns, barely visible unless the night is still. They remind you that the sky carries its own jewelry ornaments, made not of gold or stone, but of temperature, moisture, and starlight, intertwining in perfect accidents. Deeper into the night, the Milky Way stretches across the sky as a faint cloud of stars, so many that no one could ever count them all. This river of light, this soft dream universe above, has been shining since long before your ancestors first tilted their heads upward. The light you see now left its stars thousands of years ago, traveling across space to reach your eyes exactly tonight. Not quickly, not urgently, just faithfully. If this thought felt calming, you may leave a gentle note below, just a whisper of how the sky made you feel. As clouds continue their slow drift, you notice something tender. The sky never fully darkens. Even on moonless nights, the atmosphere holds a faint glow. Earthlight, starlight, the quiet illumination of air molecules scattering faraway light. Darkness is never empty. It is full of subtle radiance, the kind that comforts more than it surprises. This night sky mirrors the mind when it begins to rest, not blank, not silent, but gentle, spacious, softly lit. Thoughts drift like clouds. Feelings settle like mist. The world expands and quiets at the same time. This is the sky lowering itself toward you, not to overwhelm, but to cradle. If this soft sky eased you, or if your eyes grew heavier while listening, you may subscribe gently, only if it feels natural, like lifting your gaze during a quiet walk and finding the moon waiting for you. Winds begin where silence gathers, born from differences so gentle you rarely feel their beginnings. A patch of warm air rises above a sun-touched slope. A cool shadow settles in a nearby valley, and the sky responds with movement so soft it could be mistaken for breath. Tonight, we drift into these winds, the quiet ones that carry the memory of mountains, forests, and distant fields. Winds that whisper truths older than language, always moving, always arriving, always leaving without a trace. If this first touch of moving air feels calming, you're welcome to gently tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like lifting your face toward a soft breeze and letting it pass through your thoughts without asking for anything. Some winds have traveled for thousands of miles, carrying the warmth of distant deserts, the cool scent of polar ice, or the mist of open oceans. But the wind touching the forest tonight is young. It has only just gathered itself along the slopes of the mountains behind you, sliding down through the pines as lightly as silk drifting across stone. It carries hints of resin, the faint sweetness of damp leaves, and the cold clarity of snowmelt far above. As the wind moves over you, it changes nothing abruptly. Instead, it smooths the edges of your thoughts, the way it smooths the surface of a lake, turning ripples into calm. A gentle wind has its own wisdom. It invites the mind to release what it doesn't need to hold. If a peaceful image drifted through you, perhaps of wind moving through tall grass or whispering through open windows, you may place it softly in the comments like a leaf falling onto still water. The mountains shape the wind long before you ever feel it. Air flows upward during the day as the slopes warm, rising in wide, slow currents. At night, when the stone cools, the air reverses, flowing back down in narrow, polished streams of cold that slip between trees. These winds are called mountain breaths by those who listen closely. You can picture them now, steady, rhythmic, almost alive. Wind that has crossed a high pass often picks up the smell of stone warmed earlier by sunlight, mixed with the thin crispness of alpine snow. When it descends, the scent becomes diluted, softened, woven through leaves and branches, until only a faint trace remains. It is a reminder of faraway places carried gently into the present moment. As you move deeper into this soft dream universe, the wind becomes your guide. It touches your cheek and then moves on like a gentle suggestion of direction. It bends the tips of ferns in a slow wave. It rustles the canopy overhead in patterns that feel like nature's own lullaby. The forest responds with ease, every branch yielding without resistance, every leaf turning slightly to show its hidden side. Wind reveals things normally unseen. The undersides of leaves, the pattern of ripples on a stream, the shifting shapes of clouds. It also reveals the quiet inside you, how thoughts that seemed heavy can become lighter when brushed by something as simple as moving air. If this thought settled into you softly, you may leave one warm word below something wind-like, light and drifting. In open fields, wind moves differently. Without trees to soften it, it spreads across the land in long, unbroken strokes. Grasses bend and rise in waves, mimicking the motion of oceans. The sound shifts to a low whisper that can be felt more than heard. Some listeners say that the wind in open fields carries memories of every place it has touched. And perhaps that's true. You can imagine each gust holding a faint trace of mountain stone, forest moss, river water, sun-warmed soil. Winds also carry seeds. Tiny messengers that travel farther than any route could ever reach. Dandelion seeds float on the smallest breeze, sometimes for miles, drifting until they settle somewhere ready to receive them. Pine pollen lifts like a golden cloud in springtime, spreading across valleys in soft veils. Even grains of desert dust can ride winds across oceans, eventually nourishing distant ecosystems with minerals that began on the other side of the world. These journeys happen quietly, without urgency. Wind is one of the Earth's gentlest carriers of life-moving things, not by force, but by invitation. Just beneath the forest canopy, a different kind of wind forms. It is slow, cool, and infused with the scent of bark and damp earth. This is the kind of wind that feels like a hand brushing lightly across your shoulders. It comes in small breaths, arriving in pulses. Each arrival feels like an exhale of the world itself. If you close your eyes now, you can imagine this soft, earthy wind passing through you, clearing space in your mind. If something here touched you, maybe a scent, a memory of wind from long ago, or the idea of seeds drifting, you may place one gentle note below, only if it feels effortless. Winds also carry the quiet physics of temperature. Warm air rises, cool air settles. Every current you feel tonight is part of an ancient dance between earth and sky. Even the tiniest breeze has a lineage shaped by sunlight, shadow, and time. Some winds pass through forests and come out smelling of pine. Others travel over lakes and pick up cool humidity. Some come from faraway ridges, carrying a faint echo of the snow that sleeps there. And then there are the winds that barely register soft brushes of air that move like feathers drifting downward. These are the ones that ease the space around your thoughts, the ones that help the body let go just a little more. These are the winds that belong to nights like this. As the wind quiets, you notice that everything feels slightly different. Not colder, just clearer. Trees stand taller. Stars shine more distinctly. The air feels honest. Winds are good at carrying away excess, leaving only what matters. If this journey through the wind brought you peace, you may subscribe softly, only if it feels idle, like breathing in and letting the breath drift away. Paths form themselves in forests long before anyone intentionally walks them. They begin as faint pressings in the soil, animal tracks falling, leaves the gentle repetition of water dripping in the same place each season. Over time, the forest remembers these lines. It widens them with patience, softens their edges with moss, and lays a quiet invitation across them. Walk here if you wish, and rest while you do. If this first step onto the forest path feels gentle, you're welcome to softly tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like brushing your fingers along a tree trunk in passing, without urgency, without expectation. The path beneath you is warm with memory. Leaves have fallen here for hundreds of years, layering themselves into a cushion that muffles footsteps. The soil underneath is dark and loose, shaped by roots that move like slow rivers beneath the surface. Every time someone walks this way, animal, human, or wandering wind, the path learns the shape of that movement. It does not hold on to the weight. It remembers only the softness. If a peaceful image surfaced, maybe of a trail you walked long ago, you may share one soft word below, like placing a leaf on the path for the next traveler. As you drift deeper into this quiet dream of earth, the trees arch above you in a way that feels intentional, though no hand designed it. Branches stretch toward pockets of starlight, and in doing so, they form gentle corridors. The canopy shelters you from the cool night air, just enough creating a space where sound becomes soft. The sound of your imagined steps mixes with the subtle noises of the forest crickets, the sigh of distant branches, the shuffle of some small creature moving through the understory. These sounds do not interrupt the quiet. They are the quiet. Forest paths curve. They always do. Straight lines rarely exist in nature. Curves make the journey feel longer, softer, safer. Around each bend, the forest offers something new. A mossy fallen log, a patch of glowing mushrooms, the delicate arch of roots exposed just enough to look like wooden waves. Roots are storytellers too. Some rise above the soil for a few inches, revealing the direction of their growth. Others twist around stones they met long ago. A root that bends sharply around a boulder is a memory in itself. This was here before me, and I learned to grow alongside it. Many listeners carry thoughts like that, shapes formed by what they grew around. The forest path reminds you that adapting does not have to be painful. It can be graceful. If this thought rested kindly in you, you may place a quiet word below something root-like or path-like, only if it feels effortless. Deeper in the path widens slightly, where sunlight once fell more directly. In daylight, this spot is bright and warm. At night, it becomes a densy clearing circled by tall ferns and low shrubs. Some nights, trapped warmth rises from the soil here, making the air feel like a soft breath from the earth itself. Tiny fireflies flicker in and out of existence between the leaves, their slow glows echoing the rhythm of your own unwinding thoughts. They make no sound. They offer no urgency. Their light is not a signal to follow. It is simply a presence, a reminder that even small things can make darkness beautiful. Nearby, an old log bridges the path. It is covered in thick moss, its wood softened by decades of quiet transformation. Moss turns Hog's fallen trees into soft green sculptures, returning their strength to the earth, while preserving their shape long enough for the forest to remember them. If you rest your palm on the log, even in imagination, you might feel a deep coolness, as though touching the memory of rain. Forest paths also carry scents: damp bark, distant flowers, mineral-rich soil, the faint sweetness of decaying leaves. Each scent is soft, shaping the atmosphere around you without pulling your attention. The forest is always communicating, but never loudly. Further along the path crosses a shallow stream. Stones line the bottom, like stepping stones placed by time. Water slides over them with a whisper, carrying reflections of starlight. If you pause here, the coolness of the stream seems to rise gently into the air, brushing your ankles like a soft breath. The sound of water, steady, 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 can loosen the mind more effectively than silence. Many people have found rest near streams without knowing why. Running water reassures in a way that cannot be explained, only felt. If the sound of this imagined stream brought ease into you, you may share a small note below. Just a word, a color, a memory. After the stream, the path climbs slightly. The trees grow closer together, creating a tunnel-like passage that feels almost like entering a dream within a dream. Your steps become slower, not from effort, but from the softness of the world around you. The forest wants you to take your time. It wants you to notice the way moonlight drips between overlapping branches, falling in thin silver lines onto the path like threads of quiet. Ahead, the trail splits two gentle directions, neither more important than the other. This is the forest's way of saying you can choose any path, and you will still be held. No decision here interrupts the calm. No path leads to worry. Each direction is simply another memory waiting to be made by your presence. If something in this moment touched you, maybe the idea of gentle paths or choices without pressure, you may place a soft trace below. Only if your fingers still feel rested enough to move. As the night deepens, the path carries you toward a place where the forest thins and the first edge of a meadow appears. Air opens around you. Space expands. The sky lowers itself again into the tall grass ahead. The transition feels natural, like turning the page of a slow, quiet book. Paths, like memories, are made by repetition. The forest has seen countless feet pass through these spaces, yet each step imagined or real becomes part of its gentle history. Tonight, your quiet presence becomes part of it too. And if this walk along the forest path brought you a moment of peace, you may subscribe softly, only if it feels like one more easy step on a trail you enjoy returning to. Meadows open like slow exhalations, broad, gentle spaces where the earth lies softly beneath a blanket of grass and starlight. After the quiet intimacy of the forest path, stepping into a meadow feels like stepping into a calmer version of the world, wide enough for your thoughts to stretch out and then settle without effort. Here the land sleeps lightly, and you are invited to rest in the same rhythm. If the first breath of this open space feels soothing, you may softly tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like brushing your hand across tall grass as you pass, leaving no mark, only a feeling. The grasses sway in slow waves, each blade bending under the lightest touch of wind. Even in the darkness, the meadow holds a pale glow, moonlight catching on slender stems, dew forming on their edges in tiny beads that shine like scattered stars. You can almost hear the soft movements of nighttime creatures nearby, the flutter of wings from a small bird settling into sleep, the faint scratch of tiny paws in the underbrush, the whisper of insects tuning themselves to the night's hum. Meadows breathe differently from forests. Here the air is open, moving freely across the landscape. It carries a cool sweetness, wildflower pollen, hints of river moisture, the earthy sleep scent of soil cooling after a warm day. Some meadows hold the fragrance of pine drifting from distant tree lines. Others carry the delicate perfume of blossoms that open only at night. If a peaceful scene rose in you, perhaps a memory of lying in tall grass or watching fireflies, you may place one soft word below like a petal left on the evening breeze. As you walk into the heart of the meadow, the world feels like it spreads out in all directions. The sky becomes enormous, closer somehow, as if lowering itself gently to meet the land. Stars seem brighter here, unobstructed by branches. Their light settles across the meadow in faint, shimmering strokes. Each star above has traveled unimaginable distances to rest in your eyes tonight. Yet their presence doesn't overwhelm. It comforts. This is what meadows do. They offer spaciousness without emptiness, a sense of openness without loneliness. The night breathes, and you breathe with it. Somewhere nearby, a herd of deer might graze quietly, invisible in the darkness, except for the occasional glint of eyes when moonlight catches them. Their steps are soft, their movements fluid. They belong to the meadow as naturally as wind belongs to the sky. The earth holds them gently, and in this moment, it holds you too. If a feeling of spaciousness settled within you, even for a breath, you may leave a gentle note below. Only if your fingers feel awake enough to touch the keys. In the middle of the meadow, you find a low rise, a slight hill shaped by centuries of wind-blown soil. The slope is smooth, covered in grass that feels almost like velvet when imagined under your hand. If you sit here, the land lifts you just high enough to see the meadow roll away in every direction. For a moment, you feel as though you are floating, not up, but outward, into the vastness of night. The grass presses softly against your palms, cool from the evening air. If you lie back, the earth forms itself gently to your shape, neither pulling nor pushing, simply allowing. The sky arches overhead, full of stars that seem to understand the language of rest. Sometimes the air grows still, and the meadow becomes so quiet that you can hear the faint buzzing of distant insects or the soft chime of grasses brushing against each other. The quiet is never absolute. It is textured, layered, alive with tiny sounds that feel like the earth murmuring in its sleep. Dew begins to form more thickly now, gathering on grass tips and seed heads. Each drop is a tiny lens bending light in gentle arcs. If you look closely, only in your imagination, you might see the reflection of the moon inside a single droplet, curved and serene. Some meadows hold tiny pools where water collects after rain. These pools mirror the sky above so perfectly that for a moment you might feel as though you are looking into another world. The surface shivers slightly when the wind brushes past, breaking the reflection and then letting it settle again. This is the meadow's heartbeat. Subtle, fragile, beautiful. If this image brought you calm, a small pool of sky resting on the earth, you may leave one whisper of a word below. Tall grasses nod as you continue walking, their seeds and blades touching your arms like gentle hands. Each grass species has its own texture and sound. Some rustle sharply, others hum softly, some barely move at all. Together, they form a choir of quiet. The earth sings through them, not with melodies, but with softness. Somewhere near the edge of the meadow, a lone tree stands, an oak or a birch, its silhouette carved against the night. In open landscapes, trees develop wide crowns, spreading their branches outward in slow, generous shapes. If you stand beneath this tree, the leaves above catch the wind and translate it into a soft language of rustles. The ground beneath is warmer, having stored the day's heat. The roots spread deep and wide, anchoring the tree firmly, even as its branches sway freely. You might rest your back against the trunk now. Its bark is cool but strong. Trees in meadows grow with quiet confidence, shaped equally by sun and wind. Leaning against one feels like leaning against time itself. If leaning against this imagined tree brought ease into your breath, you may leave a gentle trace below, only if it flows effortlessly. When you look out again, the meadow seems even larger, not because it changed, but because you softened into it. Open spaces free the mind from edges. They let thoughts widen and then drift away like seeds caught on a breeze. If this journey through the meadow brought you a quiet moment of peace, you may subscribe softly, only if it adds to your calm, like one more slow step through tall, whispering grass. Lakes hold the night differently from rivers or meadows. They do not flow, they do not wander. They wait wide, patient, reflective, gathering whatever the sky offers and holding it gently on their surface. When you step toward a lake at night, the air cools in a way that feels intentional, as if the water itself breathes out a soft welcome. You are not intruding here. You are arriving at a place that has been expecting you. If this first glimpse of still water feels calming, you may softly tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like trailing your fingertips across a quiet lakeshore, leaving only a ripple that fades into calm. The lake lies ahead, like a sheet of shadowed glass, smooth and unbroken, except where a breeze brushes its surface. Moonlight rests in long, shimmering streaks across the water, stretching from the far shore all the way to where you stand. Stars glide across the surface with each shift of the wind, as though the sky itself were floating. The shoreline curves, gently cushioned by soft earth and tall reeds. These reeds sway with the faintest touch of night air, whispering against one another in a sound so delicate it feels like breath. You can almost imagine the lake listening to its own edges, learning every sound made along its boundary. If a peaceful image surfaced, perhaps the memory of a lake at dusk, you may leave one soft word below, like a pebble placed with care beside the water. When you step closer, the soil underfoot cools noticeably. Water draws warmth from the land, leaving behind a soft chill that rises into the night air. But this coolness isn't harsh. It is steady grounding, like the quiet hand of the earth resting against your skin. Lakes carry the temperature of time. They warm slowly in the day and cool slowly at night, refusing to rush the world around them. A faint scent of mineral-rich water moves through the air, clean, deep, ancient. Lakes often keep memories of the land that feeds them, rain that traveled through stone snow that melted from distant peaks, springs that rose from deep aquifers. All of it gathers here, forming a quiet heart of the landscape. If this idea touched something child within you, you may leave a gentle note below. Just a breath of a word. Looking across the lake, you notice patches of silver where fish swim near the surface. Their movements are slow gliding, barely noticeable, except for the subtle distortions in the reflections above them. At night, fish move differently, less hurried, more cautious, drifting like spectral shapes beneath the stars. The water cradles them, and they cradle the water in return, each shaping the other in quiet partnership. Some lakes hold secrets underneath ancient logs, resting on the bottom stones, covered in silky silt. Lost branches caught in the slow dance of currents. These things sleep beneath layers of darkness, not forgotten, but preserved. Lakes are good at holding things gently. In the shallows, you might see aquatic plants swaying with the underwater currents. Their leaves move like ribbons, soft and rhythmic. These plants are the lake's gardeners, exhaling oxygen into the water, giving life to every creature that drifts through. They work in silence, unseen but essential. Another example of deep, relaxing science woven gently through the night. If a thought here settled into your mind, soft, slow, you may place it below as a single word, only if your fingers feel awake. The night air above the lake is different from any other place. It holds the moisture, coolness, and the aroma of growing things. In early summer, the scent of wildflowers drifts across the water. In late autumn, the air carries a hint of frost. Tonight, the scent is clean and subtle, touched by the sweetness of nearby grass and the faint mineral breath of the lake. When the breeze quiets, the lake becomes so still that the sky reflects with perfect clarity. Moon clouds, stars, they all gather in the water, forming a second sky beneath the first. This doubling of space makes the world feel larger and at the same time more intimate, as though the universe offers you two peaceful worlds to rest inside. If this mirrored sky brought a moment of ease, you may leave a gentle whisper below, only if it feels natural. A family of ducks glides across the surface, their movement creating slow, widening ripples. Each ripple spreads in concentric circles before dissolving into the greater calm. Even the quietest motion becomes part of the lake's story, but nothing disturbs its peace for long. Lakes recover. They return to stillness, naturally, the way your mind can, when given the right invitation. At the lake's edge, smooth stones lie half submerged. Some are warm from the day. Others have cooled completely. Dip your hand into the water, just in your imagination, and you feel the coolness embracing your skin. Water moves around your fingers without resistance. It accepts every shape, every motion without question. The lake does not judge. It simply holds. If this idea of being held gently brought ease to your breath, you may place a soft word below, like a stone resting where water meets earth. When you look up again, clouds drift across the moon, dimming and brightening the world in slow waves. The reflections shift with them, creating a moving tapestry of light and darkness on the water. This is the sky's quiet heart, beating slowly in silver pulses across the lake. At the far end of the shoreline, a small wooden pier stretches into the water. It creaks softly as the lake laps against its posts. You walk out to the end of it, feeling each gentle step. When you reach the edge, the whole lake opens before you, vast, serene, endless in its stillness. Sitting on the pier, you feel suspended between earth and sky, as if the lake has pulled you into its calm center. If this moment eased the weight of your thoughts, you may subscribe softly, only if it feels like placing your feet on the pier and letting your body rest. Night settles differently when you allow it to no longer a curtain falling, but a soft weight resting gently across your shoulders. It is a presence, not an absence, a quiet companion, not a void. As you drift along the edge of the lake, you begin to feel the night gathering itself around you, like a warm, dark shawl, woven from silence, starlight, and slow-moving air. If this first touch of night feels comforting, you're welcome to softly tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like letting your hand trail through darkness that feels soft, not cold. Night is not truly dark. Not here. Not when the moon lifts her pale face above the treetops. Not when stars shimmer like tiny embers on a wide velvet field. Even the deepest shadows carry a faint glow, a kind of quiet luminescence born from memory and moisture in the air. The night breathes with you, slow and deep, easing the spaces between your thoughts, the way the lake eases the spaces between ripples. If a peaceful image rose in you of darkness that feels safe, you may share one soft word below, like leaving a small lantern for the next traveler. Listen closely. The night speaks in layers. Crickets chirp in gentle patterns, synchronized like tiny heartbeats. Wind moves through tall grass in long exhales. Water laps softly against stones. Somewhere nearby, a small animal shifts its weight, then settles again. These sounds overlap in a slow rhythm that never demands your attention, only invites it. This is the kind of quiet that holds you rather than surrounds you. The night's softness deepens as the temperature lowers, but even the coolness feels kind. It does not shock. It drifts. It settles. It reminds your skin that the world is slowing down with you. Cool night air holds scents more clearly. Pine resin, damp earth, the faint metallic note of water, the sweetness of wild grass that rested beneath sunlight only hours ago. Sometimes the night brings a thin layer of mist rising from the lake or gathering in low pockets of the meadow. Mist blurs the edges of everything, making the world feel more like a dream than a place. Trees become silhouettes. Grass softens into a silver haze. The sky lowers even more, turning the whole landscape into a quiet dream space. Mist doesn't hide. It softens. It whispers, "Rest, now everything is gentle." If this softening eased your breath, you may place a gentle word below, only if your hands feel light enough. As your eyes adjust, more stars appear, faint ones. At first, then sharper points of white, then a whole river of light stretching across the sky. The Milky Way emerges quietly, a cloud of ancient suns shimmering like dust. Night reveals its depth slowly, as though it knows you need time to settle into its embrace. Stars do not look hurried from here. They don't flicker frantically. They pulse with steady calm, sending light that began its journey long before your story began. The night sky becomes a reminder of continuity, of cycles that existed before you and will exist long after, asking nothing of you except to be present for this quiet moment. If a thought or memory surfaced like a star appearing, you may place it softly in the comments, like a glow in the darkness. Above the lake, the moonlight creates a faint halo, a pale ring of light formed by ice crystals drifting in the upper atmosphere. These crystals catch the moon's rays and bend them gently, painting the sky with delicate arcs that feel almost intentional. The night sky is full of these small wonders, but they appear only when you are slow enough to notice. Night has its own kind of warmth too, not from temperature, but from presence. The warmth comes from the land releasing its stored heat from the lake, breathing out gentle moisture from the forest, standing quietly behind you like a guardian. Every part of the earth around you contributes to this warmth, creating a cocoon of stillness. Sometimes the wind stops altogether and the world becomes motionless. In that stillness, the night feels like a hand resting calmly over the land. You might close your eyes and feel as though time itself paused, not to trap you, but to give you space. Night understands space better than daylight does. If this still moment touched something inside you, even faintly, you may leave one word below, just a whisper of how the night feels. The darkness deepens in color, moving from navy to indigo, then to a warm shade of near black that feels velvety rather than empty. You may have noticed this shade before in the shadows of firelight or the corners of quiet rooms. It is the kind of darkness that invites sleep. It feels familiar, safe, almost like returning to something you once knew well. When held by this darkness, your thoughts loosen like knots untying slowly. Your breath becomes softer, your shoulders lower, and the parts of your mind that were busy earlier begin to drift like small leaves on a still surface. The night doesn't rush your unwinding. It simply waits. If this gentle unwinding brought you comfort, you may leave a soft trace below, only if your fingers feel easy enough to move. Look out over the lake now. The water is perfectly still. It mirrors the sky so clearly that the boundary between water and air disappears. You see two moons, two night skies, two worlds of calm that touch each other in silence. when reflections become this clear, it feels as though you are standing between worlds, held by both, tethered by neither. This is the soft weight of night, an invitation to loosen, to drift, to rest. If this journey into night eased your mind, you may subscribe softly, only if it feels like following the quiet path the night laid before you. Dawn, when it comes, kindly, does not tear the night away. It arrives like a soft suggestion, a quiet thought at the edge of the world. Long before the sun shows its face, the earth begins to shift in shades you can barely see. Darkness thins not in a straight line, but in layers, deep blue, lifting into gentle gray shadows, softening until they feel less like hiding places and more like resting places. If this first hint of morning already feels gentle in your chest, you're welcome to quietly tap like or subscribe whenever it feels natural, like turning your face toward the first pale light without needing to open your eyes. Around the lake, the air changes almost imperceptibly. The cool of night remains, but there is a tenderness in it now, as if the world has taken its deepest breath and is beginning to exhale. The stars fade one by one, not because they vanish, but because the sky slowly fills with a very delicate light, like milk poured into dark water. Birdsong appears before the sun. A single note at first, then another, then a scattered chorus of small voices threaded through the trees. They do not shout the morning into existence. They trace it as if outlining the shape of a day that has not yet unfolded. This is nature for sleep. In reverse, the world waking carefully enough that anyone still resting can continue to drift. Dawn is a kind storyteller. It never rushes its audience. If a peaceful memory rose in you, perhaps of early mornings when the world was quiet, you may leave one soft word below, like a feather resting at the edge of the day. Mist still lingers over the lake, lying low and close to the surface. It glows faintly now, lit from nowhere and everywhere at once. The water holds the last reflections of the night sky while beginning to welcome the first colors of morning. For a brief moment, you can see both pale stars fading into a sky that is slowly painting itself with hints of silver rose and the softest gold. The earth at dawn is a gentle version of relaxing science. The air near the ground cools more slowly than the air above. Light scatters differently as the sun climbs closer to the horizon. Moisture rises from soil and water, turning into mist that catches the first rays of day. You don't need to hold the facts. Only feel how they wrap the world in a calm transition. A cinematic sleep story shifting toward morning without breaking the spell. Along the forest edge, branches sharpen in silhouette. Leaves once hidden in shadow reveal their shapes in layers the nearest crisp, the farthest blurred, all of them outlined by a growing glow in the east. Spiders' webs gather tiny beads of dew that shine like strings of small planets, each orb reflecting the awakening light. This is dreamy science in its quietest form. Delicate patterns, soft causes, gentle effects. If this image settled inside you, you may place a single warm word below, like a tiny sun rising in the comments for someone else to find. In the meadow, grasses begin to show their true colors again. The silver of night's dew remains, but beneath it, greens, golds, and soft browns return one by one. Flowers that closed in the dark unfold their petals, slowly testing the air. For a few minutes, the world holds two moods at once: the serenity of night and the promise of day. You are allowed to linger in this in-between, half dreaming, half awake. Somewhere nearby, a fox returns from its silent wanderings, paws placing almost no weight on the ground. It disappears into the fringe of trees, giving the night back to itself. In burrows, hollows, and nests, animals that kept watch under the stars curl in, letting the light take their place. The earth shares its duties, gently, night holding, day guiding. The sky at the horizon brightens from gray to a very pale gold. But the sun has not yet appeared. This is the softest stage of morning, the one that respects sleepers. Light increases, but not abruptly. Colors return to the land one shade at a time. The soft dream universe you have drifted through all night begins to overlap with the waking world, and for a little while, they are the same place. If something in this quiet overlap comforted you, you may leave a gentle note below. Only if your fingers feel light enough to move. Back at the lake's edge, the water mirrors the new sky. The reflected stars are gone, now replaced by a hazy band of brightness that spreads slowly outward. Ripples on the surface catch this light and stretch it into long ribbons, like paths leading from shore to horizon. You might imagine that if you stepped into the water and walked along those lines, you could stroll straight into the morning itself. Around you, the earth feels deeply awake and deeply calm at the same time. The soil beneath the grass is cool, but no longer cold. Stones warmed briefly by yesterday's sun are ready to drink in another day. Trees stand in quiet readiness, every leaf poised to catch light, every root sunk firmly in dark, nourishing ground. This is deep, relaxing science in motion. Photosynthesis, waiting to begin. Temperature gradients, shifting tiny currents of air, rearranging themselves in response to the first beams of day. High above, the last faint stars linger in the brightening blue, like memories fading gently instead of being erased. The moon, if she is still visible, grows pale and transparent, as though she is agreeing to step back for a while so the sun can take her place. Nothing in this handover is harsh. It is a soft exchange, a bedtime science story playing in reverse for those who rise early, while those who listened through the night are given permission to keep resting. If the thought of dawn arriving without needing you to wake eased your mind, you may leave one quiet word below a word for how you want this new day to feel, even if you greet it later. For you here, the purpose of dawn is not to pull you out of sleep. It is to reassure you that the world continues kindly while you rest. Somewhere, people are rising, birds are flying, rivers are catching new light, and mountains are watching the day begin. But you are allowed to stay in this soft space between listening to sleepy science narration that holds both night and morning, like two hands cupped gently around your thoughts. If you are still half awake, you might let this be a sleep story for adults that lingers in the background while you drift. You are learning about Earth in the gentlest way a science sleep story can offer, without pressure, without effort, simply by being present as the planet turns. And if you feel the need for more company, another bedtime science story, another cinematic sleep story, another cosmic lullaby of land, water, and sky will be waiting whenever you wish to learn while falling asleep again. For now, though, this journey comes to a close. Thank you for walking through valleys and rivers, for resting beside stones and soil, for breathing with forests, meadows, lakes, and sky. Thank you for letting the quiet winds and the soft weight of night keep you company. You have moved through a whole gentle earth, and you have done enough. May the calm of the earth rest gently beneath your dreams. May the mountains hold your night with quiet strength. May the forests breathe softly around your sleep. May every river of thought in you find its way to still water. Good night, dear traveler. You are safe. You are held. Let the warm earth cradle your rest.